Hi guys, welcome back to another week of our Ascension Energy Update. This is one of my favorite things to do, is to provide you guys with some insight as far as what's been going on with the energies, because the whole entire world is going through an ascension, as well as Mother Gaia, which is our earth. We're all going through this ascension process, and sometimes the energies, they're a little hard to understand. And again, if you're new to an ascension journey, it's hard to understand what's going on, what all these changes mean. So I enjoy just breaking it down for you guys, so you can understand what the collective energies are going through and how it correlates to your life. Now, again, you may resonate with certain things and may not resonate with others. So just whatever you're supposed to receive from this message, please take, and everything else, just leave it be. So this past week, there's been a lot going on with death and rebirth, kind of still pulling in from last week's energy. I have seen in my physical reality a lot of death that has been happening. Death of animals, death of nature, physical funerals. I've seen many funerals going on. This just signifies that there is a death, and it doesn't mean necessarily death of a person. So everything that I speak about with love and not fear. So anything that is coming out, nothing is based on fear-based energy. It's all based on love. It comes from my heart space, and it comes from just a pure natural love. So when I speak of death, death is actually a good thing. So it's just a natural cycle of life, death and rebirth, right? So right now we've been seeing a lot of death in the sense that we are shedding an old version of ourselves, right? And we are stepping into a new version of ourselves. With that, anytime that there is death, there's a purification process. So think of, I don't know, I guess in ancient Egypt, when when somebody would pass away, they would go through this purification process to get that body ready for their new journey to their eternal life. So it's very similar. So our bodies, our space, and especially our mind is going through this purification process where we're shedding that old person. So that old person is dying off, and that new person is emerging. So it's such a beautiful process, and it's really beautiful to be able to just kind of watch all of us go through this process. So with that, we are being asked, and a lot this week, we've been asked to go within very deep. So do a lot of inner work, inner cleansing, to find out what is holding us back. What has been holding us back? What energies, what older, denser thought processes, or negative thoughts, or anything, what's holding us back. So we've been asked to go within and really bring light to that, bring it to the light so that it can be released once and for all, and you can truly step into the new. Okay. So with that, I've also, this is kind of I'm going to give you a breakdown of what I've seen. But with this purification, I've had a lot around toilets. And this is a sense, so toilets are actually like a cleansing and a purging, same thing. You do, normally with a toilet or a bathroom, you go into private. So just another way of saying that we need to go within, go in private, find out what that is that needs to be released, and let it go. It needs to be cleansed, it needs to be released, it needs to be flushed away, right? Flushed out of our system, flushed away, and just let go once and for all. So it's really, really, like I said, powerful in the sense that we have to let all that go and let it go, just to be released. Now, the other thing I've seen a lot is squirrels. So squirrels are, I've seen them everywhere. And again, I live in the Northeast, so squirrels are here all the time, but it's more or less what comes into my reality, right? What is put out there for me to see, to be able to see and process to be able to pass this message along to you. So squirrels are all about, they're about preparation, right? So right now, especially as we go into winter, squirrels are out there and they're working really hard. They're diligent, they're working, they're finding all their nuts, and then they're hiding them. They're, it's kind of the term squirreling them away so that they have something to eat throughout the winter, right? But with squirrels, they also have like a playful energy where they just run about. You see them like scurry, they jump from branch to branch, and they just enjoy themselves, right? So even though they're working hard, they're also enjoying themselves. So I've gotten a very, very strong message this week that we have to balance our spiritual with the material world, right? We have to balance our spiritual life and our material world life, or balance the higher self, like what I'm trying to say. So spiritual with the I just drew a blank. The spiritual life with our material life, or the 5D with the 3D, right? So that's kind of a big message that's been coming through. Like, as much we know we need to work hard, right? At whatever we do, whatever we put love into, God enjoys, right? God loves whatever we pour ourselves into as far as love. He loves that. Right? So we know we need to work hard, but we always have to have a balance. And again, we know that, we're moving into a more spiritual, elevated, ascended form of like higher vibrations. But at the same time, we're still humans, right? And we still have to live in this 3D reality plane. And we have to have relationships with everyone, right? So he needs us to find a balance in that. And I think it's so beautiful with the squirrel energy. The other thing with squirrels is that it's also like a deep form of surrender, in the sense that squirrels will like hide their nuts, and then in the sense they forget, but then they just leave them there, and then they forget. They kind of surrender to, when they go back, it may be there or it may not be there, right? So it's also just kind of surrendering like to everything, like surrendering our life, everything that we find importance in or significance, just let it go, right? So that squirrel or that nut means a lot to the squirrel, but at the end of the day, if it's not there, he still moves on, right? So that's just the message that came through this with the squirrels, and I just find it extremely powerful. So I resonate a lot with nature. So I spend a lot of time in nature, and I get a lot of messages through nature, and I just find it beautiful that every single animal, every single insect, every single tree has a message for us. So if you resonate with that and you want to speak with me deeper about that, definitely feel free to reach out. So now as we are coming, we're going from the death and the rebirth, I have also been getting that next week we're kind of moving into this resurrection energy, right? We've made it here, we've made it to this point. We are ascending, our light bodies are increasing, we are embracing more light, we are bringing more light into our life. We know that we cannot dim our light for anybody, and we are asked to hold this space, anchor ourselves into love, and really embody love and shine our light as bright as we possibly can. So we're bringing in more light, and we are being asked to shine our light as much as possible. So it's a big resurrection energy that is coming into play. With this, especially with divine feminines, we are stepping into mission now. So we are anchoring into love, and we are stepping into our divine mission, and we are being asked to maintain that confidence in ourselves, maintain that stability, that strength, and that inner knowing, that inner remembrance that we are here for a divine reason, we are here for a divine purpose, and it is outside of ourselves, right? It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with a bigger mission, a bigger purpose, something that we can't even understand. So the message for that resurrection energy is keep going, step into mission, step into what you're being called to do now, and focus on that, okay? So those are the energies that have been coming out. I'm going to end with a card. and a little bit of insight. The last thing I do before I get into the card, the last thing I saw this week was wolves. Wolves are spiritual guides, and they typically come to us when we are going through an ascension process or an awakening. And again, same thing what I was just talking about. They urge us to connect with our higher selves and our spiritual gifts, which, like I said, are the divine feminine. We are harnessing our spiritual gifts more, and we are moving into mission. We are moving into our full divine feminine energy, our divine feminine power. So with that, I pulled a card from the Gateway of Light activation, and this card is the Order of Melchizedek. So it says, embraced by light, mission uncovered, don't give up. Okay. So that's what the card looks like. It's so beautiful. This deck is absolutely beautiful. I love working with it. But I want to read to you who Melchizedek is in case you that you aren't aware. But he is an ancient gatekeeper of light who's dedicated to helping all those walking the spiritual path to take the initiatory steps to align with the light. The best way to describe the great being is a wizard. When you invoke him, you will feel the presence of a loving and angelic grandfather who wants to guide you to your greatness. The Order of Melchizedek, which was mentioned by Jesus in the New Testament, is a divine order of very high-frequency light beings, angels and masters, who are working together as an energetic force dedicated to lighting up and outshining all darkness and bringing a greater balance of masculine and feminine energies to the earth. Its members include Jesus Christ, Archangel Michael, Archangel Faith, and Mother Mary. By connecting with these cosmic beings, we give permission for our energy to be upgraded by light and to light so that we can become an even greater vessel of purpose for the world. So I absolutely love this message. I didn't want to paraphrase it in any way, so that's why I wanted to read it word for word from the book. I just find it so beautiful because this is exactly what we're going through. This is the message. This is exactly what the divine feminine is stepping into, this balance of energy. And I just wanted to leave you with that. And a message from Archangel Michael that you and your loved ones are safe. So anyone out there who feels, I've been getting these messages from Michael the past couple days. Anyone out there who feels any worry around how you will provide, or any worry around your home life or your financial life, just know that you and your family are safe. So that is the message for this week. Thank you guys so much for watching and for supporting me. Please like and subscribe. I want to continue to do this. I want to continue to provide you guys with these Ascension energy updates for the week. It provides me with so much joy. If you guys need any help on your Ascension journey or your twin flame journey as well, please reach out. I would be happy to hold space for you and listen to what you're going through so I can help you move along your process. Sending you guys so much light, so much love. Bye.